This is one of a series of videos to explain the setup and operation of the WW9JD Arduino µMatic² memory keyer. I am Rick Dubbs, WW9JD. This video highlights changes to the Nextion user interface and the Arduino sketch of the Arduino µMatic² memory keyer. Most of the previous functionality remains unchanged, although the look of many of the pages has changed to accommodate the new user interface. To see what version of the user interface you have, you can tap the About button, which shows that the current version is now 5 December 2020, or version D. The main screen looks like this, which is mostly unchanged, except now there are a row of buttons acting kind of like page tabs at the top of the screen, and that will remain consistent throughout the other pages. Some of the other elements on the top of the page have been moved around to accommodate the buttons on the top of the page. For the most part, no functionality was changed on an individual page. So this main page operates with virtually no changes. I can't think of any changes compared to the previous. If we go to QWERTY now, which is this button up here, there have been some changes besides just the accommodation of the row of buttons. I have added word per minute, and I've made some changes down in this row of buttons here. I've added a couple of buttons, changed the colors here, and made those kinds of changes to this screen. The big change here, besides the buttons across the top, is this normal, and that allows for the new mode for the keyer, which is the contest mode. This is the normal mode, the way that you've seen this page before. Contest mode, then, by tapping on the normal button, come over to contest mode. Buttons change color because they change the way they work. In contest mode, these buttons up here now act as memories that are sent with a single touch of the button. For example, here in memory 1 is a contest CQ. If I just touch that, don't have to send, and it's sending a contest CQ. So that makes it fewer button pushes to send the kinds of things you'd want to send during the contest. The word per minute has changed to a C, so that you can create those contest files that are activated by the buttons 0 through 9 are preceded with the letter C. So if you look at the contents of the micro SD card, digits 0 through 99 are text files, are sent normally in normal mode by tapping the number of the file and then send. In contest mode, the files are C1 through C0, if you want to think of it like that, and they are sent with a single tap. So if I tap number 2, for example, it's going to be the exchange for a particular contest, and that was the RST, the serial number, and then just the K back to you. This button here shows the serial, and the fact that it's now white indicates that the serial number has been sent, but the next serial number has not been accessed. In call CQ mode, if you tap this button, then it calls CQ and increments the serial. There is also a hunt and pounce mode that's changed over on the keyer page. You can change the calling CQ to hunt and pounce. If we now come back to QWERTY again, and I tap the, let's send the serial number by tapping the number. And you see here the 2 is once again highlighted. It's the white font color indicating that the serial's been sent. But if I tap this to increment the serial, this time no CQ is sent. In hunt and pounce, it's presumed that you're going around finding individuals to call, and you would want to increment your serial but not send a CQ on your own. The call button down here has changed color, and that's so that you can store the call sign of a station that you want to contact. So in contest mode, if I tap load now, it's going to have me enter the contest contact call sign. So like my own, presuming that the KK9ABC is going to be calling WW9JD in the file. And so now if I want to send the WW9JD to get his or her attention, then I can just tap that call, and that's the WW9JD that's going to be sent. Just like in the normal mode, if I tap send without anything in front of it, it's going to send the keyer's call sign, which is currently KK9ABC. And I can use the contest call and the normal call in memories to store both of those or either of those to be used in a memory. Back over to the keyer page. The keyer page has retained the bulk of its functionality as before, with the same delay timing constant. Since I've figured out the delay issues previously, timing constant default now is 100%. Volume, side tone. Keyer mode, I have added some keyer modes. Certainly iambic and iambic reversed are still there, as is bug. I think it sends a little better now. You're going to get just dits on the one, just DAWs on the other, and you can't send it back and forth like it doesn't have any dit or dash memory, because bugs don't. But in addition to those 3 modes, I have included single. So if you had a single lever paddle, then it's a back and forth motion. One side is automatically sending dits, the other way is automatically sending DAWs, and then there is single reversed. Also, from a couple of versions ago, I have added here iambic mode B. Apparently in the early years of electronic keyers, there were 2 competing keyer chips. One was now referred to as iambic mode A, and the other is referred to now as iambic mode B. In mode A, it pretty much just stops sending with the last key that was depressed. But in mode B, it sends an element of the opposite of the last one that was depressed. If you learned iambic keying with one kind of chip, you're most comfortable with that kind of chip. Most people would use mode A. Display text button. Tap this, and that actually hides the text that's being sent while you are sending a memory. It has nothing to do with live sending from a set of paddles. But when you're sending memory, if I've been concerned with the speed of the keyer. I have an algorithm in the sketch that should accurately send whatever you have in memory at the speed and the Farnsworth speed that you set, but it hasn't been working out that way. That's one of the reasons why the timing constant was there, so that you could adjust the speed, but that would only work for a particular speed and Farnsworth speed setting. Well, I discovered that the problem, the delay, was in the serial communications between the Arduino board and the Nextion display in updating the text display. So now with the text hidden, if I come back here, I'm just going to come all the way to the main screen, and I send a memory like a normal CQ would be 0 and send. And so it's sending the CQ, but you'll see the text isn't changing. So that's going to send that at the speed that has been selected. In this case, that's 15 words per minute. And if I were to send the 15 Paris file, that's going to be 15 Paris is sent in 1 minute. It will work exactly. If I change the Farnsworth speed on that by not displaying the text, it's going to be whatever Farnsworth speed I sent with the 15 word per minute character. So that is important if you are teaching code or wanting to learn code at a specific. But if all you're doing is communicating with someone, then probably having the text display is a good idea. This page also has the serial number bank, 6 different serial number banks here. I'm not a big contester, but I know that some contests require separate serial numbers for each band in which you're competing, so you can change serial number banks to increment serial numbers appropriately while you are contesting, and then the reset button operates on that bank only. The zeros button indicates how many zeros are going to be in front of a serial number until it gets to that. So if you have 2 zeros, which would be, or 1 0 there, would be 1 0 in front of a single digit. When you get to a 2-digit number, then there won't be any zeros anymore. And that can be cycled through up to 5 zeros. Huge serial number. I can't imagine why you'd want it, but why limit you just because of the sketch? The reset keyer will make it so the next time you reset, you power off and power back on the keyer, the EEPROM will reset back to the default in the sketch. And that's been a feature that we've had in the past. The buttons just moved a little bit. The settings page looks substantially different because there used to be 2 big buttons here that just moved you to the first page or the keyers setting page or back to the home page, but all of that's handled across the top, so all that is gone. The rest of this page operates like before, and all there was a change in the button size to accommodate the row of buttons on the top over on the references page. So that handles the changes in Keyer Sketch, including the contest mode and the Nextion user interface, primarily dealing with the tabbed user interface on the top of the screen.